laugh all you want to, but I felt like a teenager. I kept trying to talk, and he kept trying to make out. I should have her problems. Was he good looking?
Well, I think Nicky makes a very good point, Helen. You were worried about your image and how you were supposed to feel, instead of how you really felt about him and what you wanted to do.
Tell me, Robert, what is it? Have I done something wrong?
Ruth, nothing is wrong.
Then why are you avoiding me?
I've been very busy, as I am right now, so we'll discuss it later. Okay? Aren't you a little early for your appointment, Mr. Lockman?
I'll just chalk it up to the impatience of impending retirement. Tomorrow, after 30 years of practice, I'm closing my law office. Well, is Miss Blake available?
No, but she asked that I speak with you.
Ah, fine. Well, in phasing out 2 of my clients, I came across some discrepancies that I thought you could help clear up for me.
Discrepancies? I don't understand.
Madeline Howard and Helen Wrightson. I believe you handle their financial investments.
Well, I give them advice, but Sylvia Blake, our director, is adamant that the women here at the center be captains of their own ships.
Admirable woman, Miss Blake. But the financial statements that my clients receive from me will leave something to be desired.
Oh? Well, I think you'll find that your clients are doing very well.
Yes, until you look into their holdings. Now, in 4 separate stocks, both clients are listed as owners of duplicate numbered shares.
Well, I'm sure you'll find that's nothing more than a clerical error.
Well, I can understand duplication in 1 entry, but not 4. Now, you'll save me a lot of trouble if you just let me see the actual certificates so that I can confirm that my clients do own the shares that they paid for.
Well, it's going to take me a little time to dig those up because the stock certificates are in a safety deposit box.
All right, just have them by my office later today, yeah? It's important that I have everything wrapped up by tomorrow.
Very well.
Thank you. There's nobody here to let you in at this hour.
I'm Sylvia Blake, Mr. Lockman. Apologize for not being able to come down to your office this afternoon.
Nice to meet you. Well, did you bring the securities?
Oh, yes, right here. Okay. This should clear everything up.
Let me have a look. This is just a list. I mean, this is no better than the one I have in my den. I need proof, Mr. Travis. Don't you understand that I have to see the actual securities?
But Robert assured me that with a short amount of time...
I'm sure that it's just going to take me a few days to get my hands on the certificates themselves.
I don't know about Miss Blake, but there's no point in continuing the charade for me, Mr. Travis.
Charade?
Well, when you didn't show this afternoon, I tried to clear the situation up alone. I called the various companies, and there's no sales record of anything to either of my clients. The only record is to a house account registered in your name and Miss Blake.
Well, of course, but we only act as their nominees. It's a perfectly normal business procedure.
Well, you better explain it to the district attorney, because I'm turning everything over to him in the morning. Now, I believe we've said everything.
Mr. Lockman, as sophisticated men, we should be able to find a way that will avoid unnecessary unpleasantness. I mean, oversights happen, but we'd be willing to share the benefits that came with this particular mistake.
Are you trying to bribe me?
Just trying to find a mutually beneficial solution.
I think you better leave. Both of you. Out. Out.
Robert, he's dead.
I didn't mean to kill him. There was nothing else I could do. I mean, he would have ruined everything we worked for.
What do we do now?
Yeah, you get us financial statements out of the den. I'll take care of everything here. We'll move! Did you find him?
Yes. What are you doing?
Making it look like an accident. He was caulking the underside of the boat. One of the braces gave way, and it fell on him. Stand back.
Your father must have loved boats.
We used to sail every chance we could. Please, Mr. Jones, will you help me?
Rita, I don't know if I can. From the look of things, I'm inclined to go along with the police report. It was an accident. Your father was under the boat, working. He tried to move some of the shoring, and the boat fell on him.
But it didn't happen that way. There wasn't any reason for Daddy to be under the boat. He'd already finished the rough sanding, and I was going to do the caulking. Daddy couldn't.
He couldn't? Why not?
He was allergic to the caulking material. He broke out in hives bigger than tomatoes every time he tried to caulk the boat.
Well, now, you know, there's nothing that upsets my stomach more than dill pickles. Yet put me down next to a hot pastrami sandwich, and I still reach for the pickle.
Daddy was hospitalized last year. They warned him another allergic attack could be fatal.
From what you told me about your father, he didn't sound like the kind of a man who would ignore that kind of medical advice.
Then will you investigate his murder, Mr. Jones?
I'm not ready to call it a murder. But there is a question here that ought to be looked into.
What's troubling you?
Well, you know what's troubling me.
But I told you not to worry. The police have listed Lockman's death as an accident.
It's not just his death. It's what you and I've become. In the beginning, I had such big dreams for the center, and now...
But you can still have them. It's just that you have to pay a big price for big dreams.
Well, I'm not sure I want them if I have to steal them.
It's not stealing when you take what's rightfully yours. You work miracles with these women. They could never pay what your service is truly worth.
But if I could just believe that I really...
You've got to. Come on. Look how far you've come. Remember when I found you, you were counseling housewives in that Valley Center for $100 a week?
Yes, and I was doing what I wanted to do.
With no life, no future. Let's face it, you needed management. Because fads come and go.
I'm not a fad.
Well, then ideas, huh? Ideas change. And what's in 1 minute's out the next. Now, when that time comes, you're going to want to be financially independent if you're going to continue your work.
Is that all you're really interested in, my work?
No. No, it's you and you know it. I love you, Sylvia.
And I love you. I need you so much.
It's what you've always said. An emancipated woman is one who recognizes her needs and fulfills them. Same advice holds true for a man.
Thank you.
Who's that?
I sent for the autopsy report on George Lockman. Did you find out anything at his office?
Nothing of any help.
No evidence of swelling in the upper respiratory tract. No edema. Normal level of histamines.
Could you explain that?
Yeah, that means that young Rita Lockman may be right. No elevation of the histamine level means there was no allergic reaction before he died.
Well, then he couldn't have been caulking the boat.
Not with oakum, he couldn't. I'll bet you 10 bushels to a peck that somebody put his body under that boat and tried to make it look like an accident.
But Mr. Lockman had no enemies. He was well-liked, unquestionable integrity, dedicated. Who would want to see him dead?
That's the question, all right. Did his secretary notice anything out of the ordinary the past week or two?
No, but she let me borrow his appointment book, but everything looks all right.
These names in here, are they just clients?
Yes, all but one. Sylvia Blake.
Sylvia Blake, she's the girl from the feminist movement?
She's the woman from the Female Consciousness Center, Barnaby.
What business did Lockman have with her?
Well, the secretary didn't know, but she thought possibly one of his other clients, Madeline Howard, might know. After her divorce, she attended Sylvia Blake's center. Listen, if you're headed out to the center, be careful. Sylvia Blake may just brainwash you.
It's too late. Mrs. Jones beat her to it 30 years ago. I've been investigating the death of an attorney, Mr. George Lockman. He had an appointment with you the afternoon before he died.
An appointment? I'm afraid I've never met him, Mr. Lockman.
Funny. Wonder why he'd have your name in his appointment book.
Sylvia, these need signing right away.
Okay. Robert, this is Mr. Jones. He's a private investigator.
How do you do?
Mr. Travis is our controller here. Do you remember George Lockman having an appointment to see me?
Lockman.
Friday.
Right. Yes, he called, but he never showed up.
Did he say why he wanted to see Miss Blake?
No, he didn't. Why don't you ask him?
I'm afraid that's going to be impossible. Mr. Lockman is dead. I was hired to look into that.
Some mystery?
No, but police had it listed as an accident, and sometimes it pays to check into those things. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Ms. Blake. Keep up the good work. Thank you for your time.
Robert, I waited for you until midnight last night.
Yes. Well, I didn't say definitely that I'd come by. I've been very busy.
I understand. I know what a strain you must be under. Else, why would you have told that detective you hadn't seen Mr. Lockman when you know he was here just last Friday? Oh, Robert, we do need each other, don't we?
Yes. I suppose I have been neglecting you.
But no more, Robert. Hmm?
Everyone predicted an out-and-out disaster when I opened this restaurant. Thank you. I'll serve.
I don't know what I'd have done without Sylvia and Mr. Travis.
Mr. Travis, he is the controller at the center.
Financial wizard, that's what he is.
And he helped you with your finances.
Help. I turned my entire divorce settlement over to him, and since then I've seen a 23% leap. You like it? Oh, good.
23%. Maybe I ought to consult with him myself.
Well, you'd be smart if you did. I told my friend Helen about it, and her results are as good as mine.
Helen, she go to the center?
Yeah? Yeah, she still does. Helen Wrightwood.
Did she also use the same attorney, Mr. Lockman?
That's how I met him.
On the day before he died, Mr. Lockman's appointment book had you down for lunch. Did he make it over here?
Oh, we had a wonderful talk. He was so pleased about the way things were working out for me.
Did he ask any questions about your investments, your relationship with Mr. Travis, Ms. Blake?
Well, we talked about it, but, well, only in a general way. I'm sorry. I really wish I could have helped you more.
Well, maybe you've helped more than you think.
Oh?
I never met your husband, but if he walked away from food like this, he's a very foolish man.
You know, the truth is that he didn't. He still comes by here for dinner at least 3 times a week.
I believe it.
Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ruth heard me lie to Jones. She saw Lockman the day he was here. I don't like it.
I don't like this either. I checked Mr. Jones out in town. He's good. Has a reputation of being a bulldog. Never lets up.
Madeline's quite a cook, isn't she?
I haven't tasted stew like that since my grandmother used to let the pot simmer all day over a hardwood fire.
We both owe Sylvia a lot. You should have seen the shape we were in when we got here.
You planning to stay here much longer?
Oh, I'm coming down the stretch. Have to get a little more nerve to face the outside world again. But Sylvia's taking care of that.
What I understand, Mr. Travis is taking care of your finances.
You should see my last statement.
I'd like to. That is, if it isn't too personal.
Why not? I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
What for? Not that I mind, of course.
Well, Ms. Wrightwood said she didn't mind.
I'm just wondering why you wanted to see her financial statement, that's all.
Well, I think I may have found the reason why Mr. Lockman intended to see you that day. Thank you. He had a talk with both his clients, Ms. Wrightwood and Ms. Howard, about their investments.
Well, they could have shown him their own copies.
Perhaps that's what happened. He saw their copies and decided not to come all the way out here.
It's very impressive. You're quite a money manager, Mr. Travis.
Well, we're all very grateful to Robert. Financial success helps a woman have much more confidence.
It doesn't hurt a man's confidence either. Well, you know this area. Is any place out here Mr. Lockman may have decided to visit on the day he intended to see you?
I don't know. Why do you ask?
Well, there's a filling station down the way here that has a credit card receipt for some gas that he bought on that day, and I was just wondering where he went.
It depends upon what he liked. There's hiking, boating, lots of scenery to look at.
Well, I had the impression that Mr. Lockman intended to view the scenery from the deck of his boat. Now, you'd think he'd hurry and finish his business so he could get to it, wouldn't you?
He knows.
He knows nothing. And he won't. As long as we can keep him away from Ruth.
And just how long do you think you can handle her?
I don't know. She said it nicely, but it still comes out blackmail. And there's only one way to handle that.
No.
Shh. Trust me. Trust me. Ruth's made it easy for us. It's all set up. Where and how
Oh, Robert, Robert. We'll have such a wonderful life together. As soon as we leave this place, just the two of us. I have plenty of money. We can travel. We can do the things we want to do. It'll be great. You'll see.
Reality looks a lot different in daylight than it does by candlelight, my darling.
Mine doesn't. Not as far as you're concerned. Do you know that's the only reason I stayed here so long? To be near you.
You mean that?
I never meant anything so much in my life.
Well, I might believe you if you got me another drink.
I'll get more ice. Who's out there? Sylvia, what are you doing here?
Well, I just thought I'd stop by.
Sylvia, you...
Get our things together. There's still a lot we have to do. Come on, move! What's the matter?
The killing. It's getting easier, isn't it?
We did what we had to do, no more, no less. It's over now, so forget it. You bring the car around, then you help me finish up here. Come on!
Well, they weren't at the office.
Are you sure?
His secretary distinctly remembers putting both of the women's financial statements into his briefcase before he left.
Well, they're not here.
Then there's only one answer. Someone stole them.
I'd like to keep a few more options open for a moment.
You remind me so much of Daddy. Everything by the numbers.
Things add up better that way.
And what does this add up to?
I don't have a total yet. But I figured that whoever it was that was with your father when he died didn't subtract enough evidence to keep us from finding him.
Barnaby, you sound as though you're convinced that Lockman was murdered.
Well, I can't be positive, but I got a feeling there was something in those statements that sent Lockman out to Sylvia Blake's center.
I still can't believe that Sylvia Blake is involved.
Well, I could probably prove it to you if I knew what they were up to. But without those original statements, I'm in the dark, and there's no way for me to get a look at them.
Right. For you, there isn't.
Meaning?
Oh, just that I've always wanted to take some courses out at Sylvia Blake's.
Forget it, Betty.
Barnaby, they don't know me out there.
No, it won't work. Besides, it's too dangerous. If they kill Lockman, they wouldn't hesitate to kill again if they had to.
It's the only way. So I'm the only person who can get those files for you.
No, Betty.
Barnaby.
Absolutely no.
Yes, I know all about Miss Blake's work here. I read her book on a plane to Italy last month.
You've been traveling.
For a while, after my husband's death. I thought if I could keep moving, I would stop thinking. But, well, who was it? I think it was Emerson, who said that he thought he could escape by traveling. The only problem was that he kept running into the same person when he got off the boat. Himself.
That can be good or bad, depending on how we feel about ourselves.
Well, I suppose my self-esteem is not at an all-time high. The same could be said for my nerves.
Oh, would you like some brandy to come?
Oh, no, thank you. One drink and my defenses crumble.
We'll save it for another time, then.
Oh, Miss Blake.
Ms. Enright is recently widowed, and she's interested in attending the center.
Well, tell me, Miss Enright.
Oh, please. Betty?
Sylvia. I overheard you telling Robert about your defenses. Is this some personal kind of NATO?
Oh, you might call it that. I'm afraid I've kept my feelings locked in an emotional straitjacket.
Well, that's not very unusual after a loss like yours.
Well, to be perfectly honest, it was happening while my husband was still alive. Poor Freddie thought money was the answer to everything. He had made a fortune by the time he was 30, and another by the time he was 40, and 45, a heart attack.
And you didn't have anyone to turn to after he died?
We're both orphans. I wonder if that was Fred's problem. I know it's still mine.
Any children?
Never were on the agenda. Sylvia, I'm lost. And I feel the answer is here with you in the center.
Well, it's just that we're very crowded right now.
Why don't we see if something can't be done?
If it's a question of money, I'll pay anything.
Suppose we call you.
All right. My number's on the application form. Please, try to find a place for me. Thank you.
Is that made in heaven? A widow, a fortune, no heirs or relatives, and you let her on just right.
I wasn't leading her on. I just felt sorry for her. Bob, you said that we would get out just in time. Now, I know it. I can just feel it in my bones.
Just as soon as we put the icing on the cake.
What do you mean?
Betty Enright, our last hurrah. And then we're through. I promise.
Don't! It's for me.
On my private line?
Hello? Yes, this is Betty Enright. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, yes, right away. Thank you so much. Bye.
Betty Enright?
That's the name I'll be under at the center.
Betty, I told you it was out of the question.
If I were a man, you wouldn't be against it.
It's too dangerous.
Barnaby, for the first time, being a woman in your business is an advantage, and I intend to use it.
No, what you mean is you don't intend to listen.
You put it so well.
Well, if you're determined, I guess I better start circulating your cover story in case they start checking your background.
And what a background it is.
I'll bet.
I feel certain you're gonna like it here, Betty.
Oh, it is beautiful.
There's a list of activities here on the table, Betty, and I would suggest that you sign up for all the sessions to start.
Oh, I wouldn't miss a one.
I'll see you later.
Oh, Sylvia, excuse me. What do most of the women wear to the sessions?
Always the #1 question. Whatever is in for you, Betty.
In?
In your mood. We're just trying to get our thing together, not a wardrobe.
I see.
Okay. I'll see you later.
Oh, hi, Sylvia. Ruth at home?
No, she left last night.
Left? Where'd she go?
Oh, well, she promised to drop us a line just as soon as she got settled.
If that's impossible, she didn't even say goodbye.
Well, it was just spontaneous, Helen. She apparently wanted just to break the cord, you know, and go back out in the world again.
Without her sample? I don't believe it.
That's the coat that she was talking about. She asked me to send it on to her just as soon as she sends us her address. Sylvia, you've got a session and I've got a stockbroker. Settle in. See you later.
Thanks for everything.
Hi, I'm Helen Wrightwood. Can I give you a hand?
Betty and Wright, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Could you?
Yeah. You know, I don't understand it. Ruth wouldn't just pick up and go like that.
Well, perhaps the center changed her more than you knew. After all, their aim is to build self-confidence.
But based on mature behavior, not running away in the middle of the night.
Oh, listen, let's leave this. Maybe your friend left behind a cool drink for us, hmm?
And another thing, she has night blindness. She hates driving at night. Now, what could be so important that she couldn't wait until morning?
I don't know. Oh, well, there could have been, you know, any number of different... Helen? Look.
It's a stone from Ruth's ring.
Are you sure?
It's her pride and joy. She calls it her emancipation gift to herself.
Well, there must be some explanation.
Betty, something's wrong. She confided just about everything to me. She was having an affair with Travis. Now, if they had a fight, that would explain her leaving in such a hurry. But it doesn't explain this.
Where are you going?
To find Sylvia and get some answers.
Helen, if something is wrong, remember, Sylvia and Mr. Travis told you that she left. Don't you think that we'd have a better chance of getting to the truth if you kept your suspicions to yourself for now and until we find out more about Ruth's disappearance?
Happy?
I don't know. I know I'm not sad anymore.
I'd like to think that I had something to do with that.
Something. You're the first man I've related to since Fred died.
Are you always this frank?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's good. There are no facades. Sylvia feels
Oh,
that...
I see. No, I'm really interested in what you feel.
I didn't offend you.
Oh, you just shook me up a bit, right down to my bootstraps. Robert, please, I'm getting confused.
Is that bad?
No. It's the nicest feeling I've had in a long time. But
But? Well, what's wrong?
well, if you'll just give me some time, I'll think of something.
All right. I tell you what. I'll give you until, say, 8 o'clock this evening. You can drop by my office. I should be finished by then. And I promise you, I'll not only have an answer to all your confusion, I'll even walk you back to your cabin. Date?
You're 10 minutes late. 5 more minutes and I'd have come in after you.
I'm sorry, Barnaby, but I'm afraid this goes a lot deeper than we thought. One of the women here, a Ruth Granger, has disappeared. Or at least so a friend of hers thinks.
What made a friend suspicious?
Well, Ruth left behind a diamond as big as an egg. I'm sure she wouldn't have left without it. And yet Travis and Sylvia say that she left on her own.
Okay, I can check that out. But I'm taking you out of here. Travis is beginning to check you out like the prize heifer at a county fair.
He tried that in person, too. But Barnaby, I can't leave now. I'm so close. He's invited me to his office this evening.
Betty, if the Granger woman is missing, that makes 2 people who may be dead.
Please, Barnaby, don't make me leave. I know I can get those files. And without them, it's just so much circumstantial
You don't have to explain to me the rules of evidence. What time does Travis expect you?
8 o'clock. Are you going to let me do it?
Yeah, but not alone. I'll drop by at 5 minutes after 8. I'll try to occupy Travis's attention while you go through the files. If he doesn't go for it, you fold your tent and beat it back to your cabin, you hear?
Yes, sir.
No matter what happens, I want you back in your cabin by 8:15. I'm taking you out of here, files or no files, you hear?
Message received and recorded, sir.
And Betty, be careful.
You're beginning to sound like me.
Betty, you look wonderful.
Here I thought investment counselors were only interested in numbers.
Not always. But there will be one happy woman tomorrow when she gets a look at this statement.
I heard the women say that you're a financial wizard.
I don't know about that, but the numbers in these portfolios all seem to be going in the right direction. But I don't want to bore you with talk about money.
Oh, it's not boring. Frankly, I don't know the first thing about finances, except I write a check and get what I want. I'm afraid I keep my finances in a bit of a scramble.
Uh-huh. Well, first thing tomorrow, I'll see if I can't reorganize things for you.
And tonight?
Well, for starters, there's a spot overlooking the lake I'd like you to see.
Mr. Jones, I'm afraid it's a little late.
You'll just take a minute, Miss Blake. I just want to speak with Mr. Travis.
Excuse me.
Mr. Travis isn't available right now.
I'm sorry, Ms. Blake, but it's very urgent that I talk with Mr. Travis right away.
I told you, Mr. Jones, this is my center. Whatever you have to say, you can say to me, or else you can wait until tomorrow and make an appointment.
No, ma'am. There are some things that can only be said man to man.
Betty, I have to speak to someone.
Oh, I understand. It's all right.
No, it isn't. It won't take long. I'll come to your cabin.
I'll be waiting.
You see, when one man apologizes to another, I feel he should do it face to face.
Well, if there's any apology owed, I think it's owed to me.
Well, I'm sorry, Ms. Blake, but Mr. Travis being a man, I'm sure he understands how I feel.
I might understand a little better if you got on with it, Mr. Jones.
Well, I must confess that when I first came out here, I thought you two were lying to me.
Lying? About what?
About Mr. Lockman's failing to keep an appointment with you. Matter of fact, I thought you might have even gone out to his place and maybe even killed him.
How absurd.
When the coroner's report on Mr. Lockman failed to indicate any immediate allergic reaction, you can see why I thought that the accident had been staged.
Well, perhaps so, but why would you think Bob and I would have been involved?
Well, that's rather embarrassing. No good detective ever likes to be caught jumping to conclusions.
What conclusions?
The money that Mr. Lockman's clients turned over to you. Now, I'll admit that I'm always too quick to seize on greed as a motive. You said yourself, check with the ladies, and I'll swear that no man ever got a finer recommendation than you did from Ms. Howard and Ms. Wrightwood.
I'm glad to hear that.
Well, you'll probably also be glad to hear that I've just about wound up my investigation. I won't be troubling you anymore, just as soon as I have an interview with Miss Granger.
What does she have to do with Mr. Lockman?
Well, I won't know that until I talk to her.
Ruth Granger's given up her residence here at the center. I doubt that we can be of much help to you there.
Oh. Well, knowing women, as I do, and their unpredictability, it's likely she could be in Tallahassee or Timbuktu by now. Well, thank you for your time. And once again, my apologies.
Pompous, archaic, chauvinistic, antique.
Don't believe a word of it.
What?
That was no apology you just heard. He was conning us.
But he just said...
I know what he said. The question is why. What's he up to? Come on. Sure. She knew exactly what she was looking for. You work for Jones, don't you?
What are we gonna do?
Exactly what I said. We finish with Ms. Enright here, or whatever her name is, and then we leave.
But, Bob, Jones must know that she's here.
Of course he does. It will do you no good to kill me, you know. Barnaby already knows that you killed George Lockman, and that Ruth Granger didn't leave here of her own free will.
Please, let's just give it up now.
No. If Jones had proof, he'd have gone to the police long ago. We could be long gone from here before he comes back for her. Okay, let's go. And just remember, I won't need much excuse to use this.
Hold it, Travis.
It's all over. It is for her if you make another move.
Miss Blake, tell him to let her go. I've already contacted the police. There's no chance for you to get away.
Travis.
Benny!
I've never been so happy to see anybody in my whole life.
You were supposed to be back in your cabin by 8:15.
I guess I got carried away being a spy.
Now, Harry couldn't have done better.
Oh, anyway, there it was. It was pitch black. The fellow was way up at the top of the tree. Couldn't even see his hair in front of his face. All of a sudden, the limb let go, and there he did, hit the ground, flat like a rock. Then all the dogs jumped on him except old Lou.
George.
And then old Lou jumped on him.
Isn't that Vince Barrett?
I think it is. Oh, Henry, hey, this is fantastic. There you go, girls. Dig in. Now, come on, just dig in, dig in. Oh, Henry, that's just what the man ordered.
George, do you think he'd take a picture with us?
Oh, now, Irma, let's not bother.
Oh, come on, George.
Irma.
That's the first movie star I've ever seen. Come on, George.
Just keep all the wine and the food flowing, Henry. As the man said, we pass this way but once.
Mr. Barrett?
Yes.
Mr. Barrett?
Huh?
Mr. Barrett? George Anderson, Duluth, Minnesota.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Anderson. Henry, would you pour some champagne for the ladies?
Oh, this here's my wife, Irma.
Miss Anderson, my pleasure.
Oh, George and I never missed one of your television shows.
Well, thank you.
Comanche Sun, Flaming Desert, Slinging Lead.
Well, you folks are mighty kind, but you sure are going back a few years. I've been out of the show business for some time now, and I'm just ordinary businessman today.
Oh, not in our eyes, Mr. Barrett. Why, you're still one of our favorite Western stars.
Well, thank you, Miss Anderson.
Mr. Barrett, any chance of you taking a picture with me and the wife?
Best chance in the world, Mr. Anderson. It'd be my pleasure. Rita, it is Rita, isn't it, honey? Here, grab that old camera and just snap a picture of me and these fine folks.
Oh, Mr. Barrett, thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. Do it all the time. Love it, love it.
I'm so thrilled.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's him. Pretty free with that pencil, isn't it?
Why not? It's my signature, not his. What'd you say his name is again?
Hatfield. Rick Hatfield. Local disc jockey from some little burg up in the San Joaquin Valley. Santa Carlita, I believe. You want me to call the police?
No.
No. He's already done this 3 times. I think we should call the police.
No, not just yet. Shirley? There he is, sweetheart. Now suppose you find out just how good an impersonation that fella does of me.
Vince, I don't like doing this sort of thing.
Honey, he's the reason I settled you in here. Now just be nice.
Just how nice am I supposed to be to you?
Nice enough to find out what I want to know. Go on. There you go. Oh, you need some more, Miss Anderson, huh?
She's a devil, I tell you.
Oh, that Minnesota girl. Well.
Aren't you Vince Barrett, the motion picture and TV star?
Yes, ma'am, but if that don't please you, I'll be glad to change myself into Snow White, 7 Dwarfs. Yes, sir. He might just come in real handy. Good evening, Ted.
Well, it wasn't till now.
Where's your houseman?
I gave him the night off. What is it, Barrett? I thought I made it clear. We have nothing further to talk about.
Now, Ted, listen to me, will you? Just give me 10 minutes.
I'll do better than that. I'm going to see to it you get 20 years.
Now, Ted.
You've stolen from me long enough. I'm having the company's books audited, and when they're finished, so are you. Now, if you don't mind.
Ted? Now, come on, Ted. You got to listen to reason. I got into some bad investments. I got in over my head.
Not only a lousy crook, you're a rotten businessman as well.
Damn it, man, I'm your partner.
Ex-partner when the audit's done. And you're also an ex-cowboy star. Maybe with a little time off for good behavior, in 10 years, you'll be an ex-con.
You can't do that.
You just watch me. If I were you, I'd get a good lawyer, and fast.
Mr. Jones, I'm sorry I'm late.
That's all right. You must be Chris. Great view you have here.
Oh, yeah. My father used to love this place. He spent as much time down here as he could.
Well, nobody can fault him for that. Say, you mind taking a walk on the beach while we're talking?
Not if you don't mind getting a little sand in your shoes.
Not at all. Very relaxing. Sound of the surf pounding on the beach. I guess, make it difficult to be heard if you're out there yelling for help.
You mean that's why none of the neighbors heard my father call for help? You're wrong, Mr. Jones. There was none.
According to the police report...
Hang the police report, Mr. Jones. My father's death was no accident. He was an excellent swimmer. And more importantly, he had a very hard, fast rule about anybody swimming alone, even himself.
Rules are made to be broken, Chris.
Years ago, his brother David drowned while swimming alone. Dad never got over that. Did you?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Could your father have lost this? I found it up on the deck.
Turquoise, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. More like something Vince Barrett would wear.
Vince Barrett? Cowboy actor?
Yeah, he was a partner of Dad's in a land development deal. Been down here a couple of times on business.
These floodlights, they work on a timer?
Yeah, that was another one of Dad's safety precautions. They come on at sundown every day.
Now, I understand that the beach lights were off when your father's houseman came home. He didn't find his body till he turned the beach lights on.
Which would mean that my father would have had to have turned those lights out and then gone into the surf alone. Now, surely you can't believe that, Mr. Jones.
Well, I don't know what I believe yet, but I just can't leave a question like that in the dark.
And that about wraps up KBEX's late morning news. Now back to the Rick Hatfield Show and some oldies of yesteryear. As the old Duke says, no song like an old song. Pilgrim. Hey, Marty, let me borrow your glasses, will you? I need them to read these commercials.
Then you shouldn't have left your glasses down in L.A.
Come on, babe. If you'd seen that girl, you wouldn't blame me if I'd forgotten my shoes.
Shoes, I'll loan you. My glasses I need.
Am I to understand you with the drive, a man of his side, just because the beauty of a young lady led him to misplace his glasses? Ooh.
You forget, I checked your action. The chicks you take out, you're better off without glasses.
Not this one, Marty. Sensational figure, low, sexy voice, and a face that would make Da Vinci wig out.
Yeah, sounds like you're the one wigged out.
Wigged out, turned on, and torn up.
Well, I suggest you gather yourself together. That record ends in 5 seconds.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've always said, show me a man who likes an old song, and I'll show you an old man. Yes, yes. And if you'd like to see an old man who'd like to see you, get yourself down to Crazy Ed Hayes. Got so many recreational vehicles on that lot of his.
Hi, I'm Barnaby Jones.
Oh, Mr. Jones, come on in. I'm Ben Reston, Vince Barrett, attorney.
Thank you.
Vince? This is Barnaby Jones, a private investigator who called.
Detectives. You're one of them fellows that herded me and Wyatt and Bat and the rest of them right on off the tube.
Well, I wish my work were as easy as television shows make it look.
Well, sit down, Mr. Jones, and tell us how we can help lighten the load for you.
Thank you. Chris Mason asked me to look into the death of his father. I thought you might be able to help me.
Poor Ted. I not only lost a good partner, Mr. Jones, I lost a dear friend. I'll be glad to do whatever I can.
Did Mr. Mason have any setbacks recently? Any emotional upsets?
Ted Mason take his own life? You're barking up the wrong tree, Mr. Jones.
There's always a possibility that Ted might have committed suicide.
Suicide? Ted wasn't that kind of man.
Yeah, that's the way his son feels. Did he have any enemies?
Well, what man doesn't have a few, but none who'd do him in. No, Mr. Jones. On the face of it, I'm afraid I'd have to agree with the police. It had to be an accident.
Well, it's not the first time I'd wind up chasing my shadow around the rain barrel. Oh, I found this out at the Mason house, and Chris thought it might belong to you.
I'll say it does. Came out of my hat band.
Probably lost it on Saturday night.
No, must have been 2 weeks or more. I've been turning this place upside down looking for it.
And you weren't out at the Mason house over the weekend?
No, I spent the weekend at the Parkhurst Hotel up in Los Angeles. I do appreciate your finding this stone for me. It's a match set. I couldn't replace it.
Any more questions, Mr. Jones?
No, I don't think so right now. If I do have any, I'll give you a call. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure. I don't like it, not one bit.
Don't get yourself worked up. The night Ted Mason died, you were at the Parkhurst Hotel.
Mm-hmm. And suppose Jones finds that fella who was really there.
I think maybe it's time I paid a call on our disc jockey friend. As your attorney, if I explain to him we're going to press charges, I think maybe he might be persuaded to cooperate.
Man should always consult with his lawyer first. Saves a lot of wear and tear in the long run.
Hello.
Shirley? Guess who?
Well, Vince Barrett, of all people. It's Hatfield. What do I do?
Blame along.
Well, how did you get this number?
From your answering service. Celebrities do have privileges, you know.
Well, it's awfully sweet of you to call, Vince.
It's awful short notice, I know, but, well, I sure would like to see you again.
He wants to see me again.
I told you he'd be a problem.
Tonight?
Tell him you'd like nothing better.
I'd love to, Vince.
What are you thinking?
He's got the phone number here. What happens if he connects you to Shirley? That could mean real trouble.
Ben, we got the company now. There's an awful lot at stake.
I know that.
Can you handle him?
Looks like I'll have to, doesn't it?
Permanently.
All right.
You have to understand, Mr. Jones, we get a lot of celebrities here with all the fans and groupies hanging around. Privacy is the watchword of our establishment.
Yeah, with me, too. I'm a private investigator.
Well, we sure get a lot of fellows like you, too. Bad for business.
Maybe I can help you with the overhead.
Vince Barrett.
Saturday night.
Spent the entire evening in his suite, private party, left a wake-up call at the desk at 1:30.
Now, hold on. That blew by so fast, I just got to breathe.
Well, let's see. There were the Andersons, a middle-aged couple that Barrett picked up by the pool, and a sharp-looking chick, Shirley. I didn't get the last name.
They're still in the hotel?
The Andersons made reservations at Valhalla in Apple Valley. I don't know about the chick. Or the guy who left the glasses.
Glasses?
Housekeeper found a pair of men's glasses in the room after Barrett checked out. They didn't belong to Mr. Anderson. I called Barrett's office. His secretary said he didn't wear glasses. Interesting?
Now, hold on just a minute. Don't tell me. Let me guess. You are in charge of the lost and found department, and the glasses are in your possession.
You got it.
If private eyes are bad for business, I'll bet you never see a recession.
swear. If that fellow who painted the Mona Lisa could see you right now, he'd have to tear it up and start from scratch.
You could turn a girl's head, Mr. Barrett.
Oh, Vince, honey, same as before. We Barretts don't stand on ceremony.
Well, looks like you came prepared for one.
Flowers for now, a little champagne for later. My daddy always said if you can't win a lady's heart between those two, you don't deserve the family name. Do you mind if we use up a little bit of your sparkling water?
No.
My mama used to say, give cut flowers a taste of the bubbling. Keeps their color fresh, bright for a long, long time.
Sounds like you have plans.
All completely honorable, ma'am. I assure you. Code to the West.
Does the code of the West include a steak? Huh? I'm starved. Where are we going?
Well, now, that does present a bit of a problem. Much as I want to show you off to the world, I want to keep you all to myself, too.
I know just the place. Ferguson's at the beach. It's small, quiet, and dark enough that no one can tell the famous Vince Barrett from Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I like your thinking, gal. I like your thinking.
No, sir, Mr. Jones. We wouldn't forget these glasses, would we, Irma?
Oh, dear me, no. That was the most exciting evening of our whole vacation.
The dinner you had with Mr. Barrett.
I can't wait to tell my bridge club that we had dinner with a real movie star.
And by the time her bridge club gets through with it, it won't be just a dinner. Irma will have had a screen test, and I'll have had an affair with some young Hollywood starlet.
George.
Who else was at the dinner?
Oh, just the most precious young lady. Mr. Barrett met her by the pool, and I think she was quite taken with him. You know, I'm certain that we have a snapshot of her here somewhere. Let me look.
And who did wear the glasses?
Oh, Vince. Mr. Barrett, of course. But only when he signed the check.
Well, I understood Mr. Barrett didn't wear glasses.
Well, being a Hollywood movie star and all, a fella's got to keep up his image. You don't exactly picture a Western gunfighter wearing a pair of specs now, do you?
Here we are. Shirley and Vince make a handsome couple, don't you think?
Shirley. You didn't have to catch her last name.
Gee, I don't remember. Do you, Irma?
No, but then it was very informal. Like we were all very old friends.
This picture of you with Mr. Barrett taken at the pool, that was taken before dinner.
Right after we met. Like Irma says, we were together from then right on through the whole evening.
Mind if I borrow this?
What do you want a picture of us for?
I promise to return it, and along with it, I promise to give you an enlargement.
8 by 10?
You can depend on it.
That's very nice, George.
All right, thank you very much. You enjoy your vacation, and I'll get this back to you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 You know something, Irma? He didn't even say what he wanted the picture for.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Doesn't hold a candle to you.
Careful. Flattery has taken a lot of men further than they wanted to go.
That's true. To me, you're just about the prettiest thing I ever laid eyes on. The way you talk, the way you move. Oh, the truth is, I was kind of surprised when you took me up on my offer to go out tonight.
Well, that doesn't sound like the Vince Barrett I know.
Well, now, supposing I wasn't Vince Barrett, not rich and famous, but just an ordinary guy, how'd you feel about me then?
How would you feel about me if I weren't as pretty as you say?
Now that I know you, I feel exactly the same way. Shirley.
Oh, shh. Don't say any more. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me. Why don't we take a walk?
Yeah, okay.
I think I should have worn my shawl.
Oh, here, take this.
No. I've got mine back in the car.
Well, I'll get it for
No,
you.
no. Don't be silly. I'll get it. Only take me a second.
Okay. Shirley. Oh, am I ever glad to see you. I've been waiting out there on that stairwell all night.
Shot.
No, it's okay. It's okay, I think. Oh, no, it's all right. I'm okay.
Take off your jacket.
Man, I waited and I waited. When you didn't come back, I was afraid they'd gotten you too.
No, I panicked when I heard the gunfire. I was afraid to come back to the apartment, so I spent the night with a girlfriend.
You didn't call the police?
I started to, but I guess I'm a coward. I was afraid to get involved. Did you call them?
No, I couldn't.
Even after someone tried to kill you?
There's a reason I can't go to the police. I'm a fake, Shirley. I'm a complete phony.
I don't understand.
I'm not Vince Barrett. I've never even met the man.
What?
I just look like him, and I do a very good impression of Barrett.
Then who are you?
Rick Hatfield. I'm a small-town disc jockey from Santa Carlita. Closest I've ever been to the movies is to buy a ticket.
So then this whole thing was just a game.
Was. Till I met you. I tried to tell you last night, but
Why do you think someone tried to kill you?
it wasn't me they were after. But they thought I was Barrett. Don't you see, that's why I have to do something. I mean, when they find out Barrett's still alive, they might try again. Barrett has to be warned. If I go to the police.
I'll take it in the bedroom. Why don't you try to get some rest? We'll find a way.
that business with our friend. Just in case, if he calls you.
You shouldn't have tried to kill him, Vince. He did nothing to deserve that.
Honey, I told you we had no choice. But if he gets to the police...
Don't worry, Rick won't go to the police.
Well, now, honey, how do you know that?
Vince, you know how I feel about this thing. What would you say if I told you that Rick's all right and that he's not going to cause you any trouble? How would you feel about it?
Look, if he's okay and we're in the clear, I'm the most relieved man in the world.
Vince, he believes someone was trying to kill you. His first thought was to try to warn you.
He's there now, isn't he?
Yes. I'm not going to let you hurt him, Vince. I won't be a party to it.
Okay. Just bring him out here and I'll reward him for his help, and Ben can caution him against any further masquerades, and we're home free.
Don't lie to me, Vince. Not again.
Trust me, Cheryl. Trust me.
Right. But he's asleep now. It'll be a little while.
Okay. You better not miss this time.
Yes? Who is it?
I'm looking for Mr. Barrett.
Well, I'm sorry he didn't come in today. Perhaps I can help you. I'm Dan Foreman, the controller.
Oh, yes, sir, you could help. I'm Barnaby Jones, representing Chris Mason.
And he's worried about how the company will make out now that his father is gone.
That's right on the button. Somebody else must have posed that question.
Well, Mr. Barrett had anticipated some of the investors might share that view.
Well, Mr. Mason was top dog. He died suddenly. Might have been that it was due to some hanky-panky in the company, mightn't it?
Not with Ted Mason running the show. You can tell young Mason we're as solid as a rock.
And you anticipate that Mr. Barrett will run the company along the policies that Mr. Mason did?
Well, no two men see eye to eye on everything.
For instance?
Well, Mr. Mason had asked for a special audit the week before the accident.
Was the audit completed?
It was never started. Mr. Barrett canceled it.
Why?
He didn't want to make the stockholders nervous.
That seems funny. Now, these head chefs seems to me want to know what's in the pot.
Now, Mr. Jones.
I read a little left to right break. Just a little bit left of the cup.
You have a good eye, Mr. Jones.
That's what brought me here. I want to show you something and see if you see it the same way I did.
Yes, I remember a fine couple.
That was taken the day your partner died.
As a matter of fact, I had dinner with the Andersons that evening.
What's the purpose of all these questions, Mr. Jones? I thought we'd established the fact that Vince was at the Parkhurst Hotel that day and all that evening.
That's what puzzles me. There was something else there, too. Look at this blow-up. Notice that the turquoise stone that I found seems to be in place in your hat band. If you lost that 2 weeks before then, how do you explain it?
By George, I said you had a good eye. But I do recall I switched the band around before the picture so that empty set wouldn't show.
Now, why didn't that occur to me?
Well, I guess with you detective fellas, everything has to be checked out, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. I've checked out about everything except the name of the young lady that the Andersons said had dinner with you that night.
Shirley?
Shirley. You recall her last name?
Shirley Jennings. Charming young lady. If you like, I'd be glad to arrange for you to meet her.
Hello? It's for you.
Yeah.
I got a call from the haystack. They found the needle. Those glasses belong to Rick Hatfield. He lives in Santa Carlita.
Good work, Betty. I'll join you at the office in about an hour. We'll drive up together. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
No more questions, Mr. Jones?
Oh, now I have to go match up some answers.
I'll find my way out.
Rick. Here, drink this.
Hey. Thanks. I must have been more tired than I thought.
You'll be happy to know that you don't have to go to the police. I got in touch with Vince Barrett himself.
You did? How'd you get his phone number?
A friend of mine used to work at the studios. Finally, when I got in touch with Mr. Barrett, I told him what happened. He wants to see you right away.
That's great. What'd he say about me?
No. Don't worry. There's not going to be any trouble.
And it's like I said, I want it clearly understood that Miss Jennings had absolutely nothing to do with my impersonation. I understand completely, Mr. Hatfield. Spoken like a gentleman. Now, what's all this about somebody wanting to kill me? Well, it's like Shirley said on the phone. There I was pretending to be you, and some guy took a shot at me. Did you by any chance get a good look at this Bella? Man, did I ever. I'll never forget that face. Mr. Barrett, you don't know how much I appreciate the way you're taking this. I mean, I never expected to. Holy. Mr. Barrett, that man, the one out there. He's the one. Are you sure? Man, I told you, I'd know that guy anywhere. We better call the police. Wait a minute. Something else wrong, Mr. Hatfield? Well, this telephone number is the, That's the one I used to reach Shirley. 2 and 2 do make 4, don't they, Mr. Hatfield?
If you talked to Rick, you know this wouldn't have happened. Vince! Oh, this... Vince!
Vince?
Open the door, Vince!
Are you okay? Vince?
All right. Okay.
Said you wouldn't hurt him, Vince. You swore!
He's only unconscious. I had to slap him. He saw Ben and he went crazy. He grabbed my gun and we fought over it.
I told you should have let me handle this.
No! Well, you was going for that gun! Get him out of here. Now, come on, baby. Keep hold of yourself. We're all in this together. It's gonna be all right. Now, come on. It's okay. You just get yourself fixed up. Give me time to do some thinking. It's gonna be all right.
All I know is if I didn't ask him to make a few pre-recorded shows a couple of months back, I'd be up the well-known creek without a paddle.
Does he do this often? I mean, take off without leaving a number or calling in?
Well, he's usually pretty reliable. What do you want with Rick anyway?
Oh, I wanted to give him the glasses that he lost.
Hey, he's been going crazy without these. Where did you find them?
Parkhurst Hotel. He left them in a suite there.
That's a first-class pad. Guess that's where the little fox he met must have been staying, since Rick didn't have the bread to spring for anything like that.
Do you happen to know the little fox's name?
Shirley. Rick dedicated at least a dozen numbers to her.
Does he know anyone else in L.A., say, Vince Barrett?
Know him? He knew Barrett inside out. Not personally, I mean, but... Excuse me. Who's that look like?
Vince Barrett.
Wrong. That is little old Rick doing one of his many famous impersonations. But that really fooled you, didn't it?
I'll bet he fools a lot of people.
Oh, what did you make of that?
Like butter in the churn, everything is coming together.
Would you mind spreading it around a little so I could have a sample?
Well, up to now, our main problem has been that one man has been two places at the same time. Maybe we have just found the man occupying the other chair. Hello, operator. I'd like to make a call, please. Los Angeles, area code 213-555-7420. Have you got any quarters?
Listen, as long as I'm paying for this call, how about filling me in on who it's to?
Yeah, thank you, operator. Hello, Mr. Foreman. This is Barnaby Jones. Mr. Foreman, I need some information regarding the payment for Mr. Barrett's stay at the Parkhurst Hotel this last weekend. Do you have those records? Sure, I'll hold.
What does that have to do with Rick Hatfield?
Well, the biggest advantage in using another man's identity is that you can use his credit, too. Hello? Yes, I see. Mr. Foreman, have there been any recent charges made in Mr. Barrett's name that he claims were not his? Huh? Well, did they take care of those, too? I see. Well, thank you very much.
Are you going to tell me?
Seems there were several large hotel bills, dinners, rooms, and things like that run up in Barrett's name recently. Barrett claimed they weren't his. His lawyer, Ben Reston's been squabbling with Foreman about them for several weeks.
Well, what?
Well, suddenly, last Saturday night, Reston had them all paid off.
Saturday night. Isn't that the night?
It's the night Ted Mason died.
Going somewhere?
I thought I'd take a drive.
Without saying goodbye? Santa Carlita can be a lovely trip.
You knew in there.
I guessed. The kiss just clinched it.
You were with Barrett all the time.
Not when he wanted you out of the way.
I still don't get it. Why did Barrett want to kill me?
He was using you as an alibi to cover a murder he committed. He couldn't afford having you around. Where are you going?
Call the police.
Oh, darling, wait. You're honest and a little bit square, but don't be a fool, too. You and I are the only two that know who you really are. You can stay Vince Barrett. It's the chance of a lifetime. His money, his success, and me. The two of us together.
And Reston?
We'll cut him in. It'll work perfectly.
Yeah, until they come down on me for that murder Barrett committed.
Wait a minute, please. If you call, I'm an accessory.
Operator, would you get me the police?
Ben! Stop him. He's not really Vince. You shot the wrong man.
What? Put it down. Put it down.
So there are two Vince Barretts.
That's the way it's shaping up. Let's hope there still are two of them.
Now, look, Mr. Reston. Move it!
Rick, it doesn't have to be this way.
Well, he doesn't seem convinced of that.
Ben, tell him if he plays it our
It's no
way...
good, Cheryl. We don't have any kind of guarantee. We're up to our necks in this thing, and he can talk anytime he wants to. He's going in the woods right alongside Vince. Just keep moving.
If you kill me, you'll be fresh out of Vince Barrett's. I mean, suppose somebody comes around asking for him, huh?
By the time that happens, we'll have bled the company dry and we'll be long gone.
Yes?
You are Shirley Jennings? I got the name from the registration in the car in the driveway.
If you've come to see Mr. Barrett, he's not at home.
His car's in the garage. So is Mr. Reston's.
They took another car.
That wouldn't by any chance have been Rick Hatfield's?
I'm afraid I don't remember anyone by that name.
That's funny, because Mr. and Mrs. Anderson, remember you were having dinner with them and Rick at the Parkhurst Hotel Saturday night?
I was with Mr. Barrett last Saturday night.
I hope you'll change your mind about that, because being with Mr. Barrett would put you smack dab in the middle of the Ted Mason murder.
You know that much.
I have a feeling you're going to tell me a lot more.
Keep digging. I want it deep.
Deputy, this is Betty Jones.
You mind telling me which one you are? Rick Hatfield. Right now, I'm glad of it.
The evening sun was dipping below the horizon, casting long, amber shadows across the outdoor restaurant patio where the remnants of a golden Hollywood era seemed to linger in the air. At a central table laden with fine wine and platters of exquisite food, a man who epitomized the rugged charm of the silver screen sat surrounded by admiring fans. This was Vince Barrett, or, at least, the man everyone believed to be the famous Western movie star. He flashed a brilliant, rehearsed smile that had once captured the hearts of millions across the television screens of America. Henry, the attentive waiter, moved swiftly around the table, ensuring that the glasses remained full. A middle-aged couple from Duluth, Minnesota, named George and Irma Anderson, stared at the celebrity with wide, starstruck eyes. They had been watching his television shows for decades, from Comanche Sun to Flamin' Desert and Slingin' Lead. For them, meeting their favorite cowboy hero in the flesh was the absolute pinnacle of their vacation. Irma nudged her husband excitedly, whispering that this was just what the man ordered. She desperately wanted to take a photograph with him, but George, feeling a bit self-conscious, suggested they should not bother the famous actor. However, Irma insisted, noting that he was the first genuine movie star she had ever seen in her entire life. Overhearing their hushed debate, the man at the table turned to them with overwhelming warmth. He welcomed George Anderson and introduced himself with practiced ease. He immediately ordered Henry to pour some champagne for the ladies, completely charming Irma. When George mentioned that they never missed any of his old television shows, the actor gave a modest chuckle. He remarked that they were going back quite a few years and explained that he had been out of the show business for some time, living as an ordinary businessman. Irma quickly protested, stating that in their eyes, he would always remain one of their absolute favorite Western stars. With the utmost politeness, George asked if there was any chance of taking a picture with him and his wife. The man replied that it was the best chance in the world and that it would be his absolute pleasure. He turned to a sharp-looking young woman sitting nearby named Shirley and asked her to grab the old camera to snap a picture of him with these fine folks. The camera clicked once, then twice, capturing the beaming smiles of the tourists alongside the legendary cowboy star. Irma was absolutely thrilled, completely unaware of the dark undercurrents swirling beneath this seemingly innocent encounter. A short distance away, observing the entire spectacle from the shadows, stood the real Vince Barrett and his attorney, Ben Rustin. They watched the impersonator sign autographs and charm the crowd with immense precision. The real Vince remarked bitterly that the fellow was quite free with that pencil, noting that it was his own signature being signed, not the imposter's. Ben asked for the name of the disc jockey again, and Vince confirmed it was Rick Hatfield, a local disc jockey from a small town up in the San Joaquin Valley called Santa Carlita. Ben asked if they should call the police, noting that this was already the third time they had caught the man doing this. Vince shook his head, stating that it was not the right time yet. He signaled to Shirley, who was secretly working with them. Vince told her that it was time to find out just how good of an impersonation the fellow could actually do. Shirley expressed her deep dislike for participating in this sort of deception, but Vince reminded her that the imposter was the exact reason he had settled her into this hotel. He urged her to go back out there and be nice enough to find out exactly what he needed to know. Meanwhile, at a secluded luxury beachside mansion, a far more dangerous confrontation was taking place. Ted Mason, the primary partner in a major land development deal, stood in his study, looking out at the pounding surf. The door opened, and Vince Barrett walked in. Ted looked at his partner with cold disdain, stating that he had given his houseman the night off and thought he had made it clear that they had absolutely nothing further to talk about. Vince begged Ted to listen to reason, asking for just 10 minutes of his time. Ted refused harshly, stating that he was going to see to it that Vince received 20 years in prison instead. Ted declared that Vince had been stealing from the company for far too long and announced that he was having the company books audited by an independent controller. Once the audit was finished, Ted said, Vince would be completely ruined. Vince panicked, pleading that he had merely gotten into some incredibly bad investments and was in way over his head. Ted showed absolutely no mercy, calling Vince a lousy crook and a rotten businessman. When Vince reminded Ted that they were partners, Ted corrected him sharply, calling him an ex-partner. He added that Vince was also an ex-cowboy star who, with a little time off for good behavior, would soon be an ex-convict in about 10 years. Ted advised him to find a good lawyer incredibly fast, leaving Vince standing alone in a desperate, murderous rage. The next morning, the bright California sun shone down on the office of Barnaby Jones, a seasoned and highly intelligent private investigator. The doorbell rang, and a young man named Chris Mason walked inside. He apologized for being late, but Barnaby welcomed him warmly, complimenting the fantastic view of the area. Chris mentioned that his late father used to absolutely love this place and spent as much time down there as he possibly could. Barnaby suggested they take a relaxing walk on the beach while they discussed the details of the case. As they stepped out onto the sand, the loud, rhythmic sound of the surf pounded against the shore. Barnaby noted that the crashing waves would make it incredibly difficult for anyone to be heard if they were out there yelling for help. Chris immediately picked up on the implication, asking if Barnaby believed that was the reason none of the neighbors heard his father call for help. Chris stated firmly that the police report was completely wrong and that his father's death was absolutely no accident. He explained that Ted Mason was an excellent, highly experienced swimmer who maintained a strict, unbreakable rule about never swimming alone under any circumstances. Chris revealed that years ago, his father's brother, David, had tragically drowned while swimming alone, and his father had never gotten over that immense loss. Barnaby nodded with deep empathy, understanding the emotional weight behind the rule. He then pulled out a small piece of jewelry he had found up on the deck of the house. It was a beautiful piece of turquoise. Chris looked at it closely and remarked that it looked exactly like something Vince Barrett would wear, noting that the cowboy actor was his father's partner in a major land development venture and had visited the house multiple times on business. Barnaby then questioned Chris about the large floodlights on the property, asking if they operated on a timer. Chris confirmed that the lights were part of his father's extensive safety precautions, designed to turn on automatically at sundown every single day. Barnaby pointed out a massive contradiction in the timeline. The beach lights were completely off when the houseman returned home, and the houseman did not discover the body until he manually turned them back on. This meant that Ted Mason would have had to deliberately turn off his own safety lights and then consciously walk out into the dangerous surf alone in the middle of the dark night. Barnaby admitted that while he did not know what to believe yet, he simply could not leave a glaring question like that completely in the dark. Up in the quiet town of Santa Carlita, the late morning broadcast of radio station KBX was coming to an end. The smooth voice of the local disc jockey, Rick Hatfield, echoed through the airwaves as he played a classic oldies track. In the studio, Rick was chatting with his colleague, Joe Grubb. Rick was playfully complaining about leaving his reading glasses down in Los Angeles during a recent trip, distracted by a sensational young woman he had met by the pool. Joe teased him, saying that any man would lose his sight if a beautiful lady led him astray, but reminded Rick that his record was ending in exactly 5 seconds. Rick quickly jumped back onto the microphone, delivering a lively commercial for a local recreational vehicle dealership, completely unaware that his glamorous weekend impersonation was about to catch up with him in a very serious way. Back in Los Angeles, Barnaby Jones arrived at a prestigious law office to interview Ben Rustin, the attorney representing Vince Barrett. Vince himself was present in the room, dressed in his signature cowboy attire. When introduced to Barnaby, Vince made a light-hearted joke about private investigators being the ones who herded old Western heroes like Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson right off the television screens. Barnaby smiled, wishing his real-life work were as simple and straightforward as the television shows made it appear. Ben Rustin asked how they could assist with the investigation, and Barnaby explained that Chris Mason had hired him to look into the sudden death of his father. Vince immediately assumed a look of deep sorrow, lamenting that he had not only lost a fantastic business partner, but a very dear, close friend as well. Barnaby asked if Ted Mason had suffered from any recent emotional setbacks or upsets that might suggest he took his own life. Vince vehemently denied the possibility, stating that Ted simply was not that kind of man. Barnaby then produced the turquoise stone he had discovered at the Mason estate. Vince looked at it and immediately claimed it, stating that it had fallen out of his favorite hatband. He claimed he must have lost it at least 2 weeks prior and had been turning his own place upside down looking for it. Barnaby asked if Vince had been anywhere near the Mason house over the past weekend. Vince firmly stated that he had spent the entire weekend resting at the luxurious Parkhurst Hotel in Los Angeles, providing a seamless alibi for the exact night of the murder. After Barnaby departed, the atmosphere in the room turned incredibly tense. Ben Rustin expressed deep concern, warning Vince that if the private investigator discovered the disc jockey who was actually pretending to be him at the hotel that night, their entire plan would crumble. Vince decided that it was time to pay a direct visit to their disc jockey friend to handle the situation before it escalated. Barnaby Jones immediately drove to the Parkhurst Hotel to verify the alibi. He spoke with the hotel manager, emphasizing the need for absolute discretion. The manager checked the records and confirmed that Vince Barrett had indeed checked into a private suite for the weekend, hosting a gathering that included a middle-aged couple named the Andersons and a highly attractive young woman named Shirley. However, the manager dropped a crucial piece of information. The housekeeping staff had discovered a pair of men's reading glasses left behind in the suite after checkout. Barnaby knew from his prior conversation with Vince's secretary that the actor did not wear glasses. The manager revealed that the glasses were currently sitting in the lost and found department. Barnaby smiled, noting that if private investigators were bad for business, the hotel industry certainly knew how to keep excellent records. Armed with this new lead, Barnaby tracked down George and Irma Anderson at their vacation spot in Apple Valley. The couple was delighted to speak about their magical evening with the movie star. Irma gushed about how she could not wait to tell her entire bridge club about the dinner. George joked that by the time she was done, the story would turn into a full movie screen test. Barnaby showed them the reading glasses, and George confirmed that Vince Barrett had indeed worn them, but only when it came time to sign the expensive dinner check. Irma handed Barnaby a beautiful snapshot taken by the pool before dinner, showing the imposter standing next to the beautiful young woman named Shirley. Barnaby asked to borrow the photograph, promising to return it alongside a large enlargement for their collection. As Barnaby left, he realized that the puzzle pieces were starting to shift. The man at the hotel was definitely an imposter, which meant the real Vince Barrett had no true alibi for the night of Ted Mason's death. Meanwhile, the situation was turning incredibly dangerous for Rick Hatfield. He had met up with Shirley at a secluded coastal restaurant called Ferguson's. Believing himself to be safe in his elaborate masquerade, Rick was completely unaware that Shirley was leading him into a trap. After a romantic dinner, they stepped outside into the cool night air. Shirley mentioned that she had forgotten her shawl in the car, and Rick gallantly offered to retrieve it for her. As Rick walked down the dark stairwell toward the parking lot, a hidden figure stepped out of the shadows and fired a gun directly at him. The bullet grazed his shoulder, sending him tumbling down the stairs in absolute terror. Rick managed to scramble away into the darkness, surviving the assassination attempt by pure luck. Horrified and bleeding, Rick sought refuge back at Shirley's apartment the following morning. When Shirley arrived, she pretended to be shocked and relieved to see him alive. Rick confessed the entire truth to her, admitting that he was not the wealthy and famous Vince Barrett at all, but rather a simple disc jockey named Rick Hatfield from Santa Carlita. He explained that someone had tried to kill him because they mistook him for the real actor. Rick insisted that they had to warn the real Vince Barrett immediately. Shirley went into the bedroom and secretly placed a phone call to the real Vince Barrett and Ben Rustin. She informed them that Rick was alive and currently resting at her apartment. Vince, realizing the immense danger they were in, instructed Shirley to bring Rick out to a secluded location under the pretense of rewarding him for his help. Vince told Ben that they could absolutely not afford to miss a second time. The next day, Barnaby Jones and his brilliant assistant, Betty, arrived at the corporate offices of the Land Development Company. They spoke with Dan Foreman, the company controller. Barnaby asked how the company was faring financially following the tragic loss of Ted Mason. Dan assured them that the company was as solid as a rock. However, Barnaby asked about the special financial audit that Ted Mason had requested just a week before his death. Dan revealed that the audit was never actually started because Vince Barrett had personally canceled it immediately after taking total control, claiming he did not want to make the stockholders nervous. This highly suspicious move confirmed Barnaby's theory that a massive financial fraud was being covered up. Barnaby immediately returned to Vince Barrett's office, confronting the actor and his attorney with the newly uncovered facts. He showed them the enlargement of the photograph from the hotel pool, pointing out that the turquoise stone was clearly visible in the hatband on the exact night of the murder, completely debunking Vince's claim that he had lost it weeks prior. Barnaby then asked for the full name of the young lady at the dinner, and Vince smoothly gave the name Shirley Jennings, offering to arrange a meeting. Just then, Barnaby received an urgent phone call from Betty at the office. She had tracked the ownership of the lost reading glasses to a man named Rick Hatfield in Santa Carlita. Barnaby thanked the gentleman for their time, stating that he now had to go match up some very important answers. At that very moment, Shirley had successfully driven Rick Hatfield out to a remote, heavily wooded estate owned by Vince Barrett. Rick, still weak from his injury, thanked the real actor for being so understanding about the impersonation. He explained that a mysterious man had tried to shoot him at the beach restaurant. Suddenly, Ben Rustin stepped into the room. Rick's eyes went wide with absolute shock as he recognized Ben's face. He pointed a trembling finger, shouting that Ben was the exact man who had tried to kill him at the restaurant. Rick realized with absolute horror that the phone number he had used to reach Shirley belonged to this very house. Before Rick could react, Ben rushed forward. A violent struggle ensued, and Ben managed to knock Rick completely unconscious. Shirley screamed, accusing Vince of breaking his promise not to hurt him. Vince snapped at her, stating that they had no choice because Rick had seen Ben's face. They quickly dragged the unconscious disc jockey out toward the deep woods to dispose of him permanently. Barnaby Jones and Betty arrived in Santa Carlita only to find Rick's radio studio empty. The station manager showed them a photograph of Rick doing one of his famous celebrity impressions, and Barnaby instantly recognized the face from the hotel snapshot. He realized that Rick Hatfield was the missing piece of the puzzle. Barnaby placed a hurried phone call back to Dan Foreman at the corporate office, asking about the hotel bills charged to Vince Barrett's name over the past few months. Dan revealed that Ben Rustin had been fiercely disputing those large bills for weeks, claiming Vince never stayed there, but suddenly paid them all off in full on the exact Saturday night that Ted Mason died. The truth was now crystal clear. The attorney and the actor had used the disc jockey's vanity to construct a doomed alibi for a cold-blooded murder. Barnaby drove at high speed to Shirley Jennings' coastal residence, arriving just as the villains were preparing to execute their final cover-up in the nearby woods. He confronted Shirley outside the house, pointing out that her presence at the hotel placed her smack dab in the middle of a major murder investigation. Realizing that the game was entirely over, Shirley broke down and pointed toward the dense treeline where Ben and Vince had taken Rick. Deep in the isolated forest, Rick Hatfield was regaining consciousness as Ben Rustin forced him to dig what was meant to be his own grave. Rick desperately argued that if they killed him, they would be fresh out of Vince Barrett's to maintain the corporate facade. Ben coldly replied that by the time anyone noticed the actor was missing, they would have successfully bled the entire company completely dry and fled the country. Suddenly, the authoritative voice of Barnaby Jones echoed through the trees, telling them to put their weapons down immediately. A local sheriff's deputy stepped out from the brush with his firearm drawn, completely surrounding the corrupt attorney and the washed-up movie star. Ben Rustin and Vince Barrett dropped their weapons, realizing that their elaborate, double-identity conspiracy had utterly collapsed. Rick Hatfield sank to the ground with a massive sigh of relief, deeply grateful that his days of playing a Hollywood cowboy were officially over and that justice had finally caught up with the real villains. The afternoon sun cast long, amber shadows across the coastal retreat of the Mason estate, where the gentle rhythm of the Pacific Ocean seemed to mock the violence that had transpired on its sands. Barnaby Jones stood upon the weathered deck, his keen eyes tracing the horizon while his mind meticulously reassembled the fragments of a puzzle that had begun with a man known as Vince Barrett. The air was thick with the scent of salt and the lingering tension of an unresolved mystery. Beside him, Chris Mason remained silent, his gaze fixed on the turbulent water, seeking answers that the local authorities had been all too eager to bury under the guise of an unfortunate accident. There was a peculiar harmony in the way the local residents spoke of the event. It was as if the script had been written by a seasoned storyteller, yet the cracks in the narrative were becoming impossible to ignore. The tale of the man at the top of the tree, the limb that gave way, and the dogs that followed, served as a grim metaphor for the chaotic turn of events involving a man who had captivated the public imagination for decades. Vince Barrett, the iconic cowboy star, had moved from the silver screen into the boardrooms of land development, but his transition had been marked by bitterness and deep-seated betrayals. Barnaby adjusted his coat, the weight of the turquoise stone he carried in his pocket serving as a silent witness to the inconsistencies he had unearthed. The investigation had led him from the opulent hotel suites where celebrities held court to the dusty, quiet corners of Santa Carlita, where a disc jockey named Rick Hatfield had been living a life of borrowed prestige. It was a classic case of mistaken identity, yet the stakes were far higher than a mere bruised ego. A murder had occurred, and the perpetrator had utilized the public adoration of a fading star to weave an alibi that was as fragile as it was audacious. The complexity of the situation became clearer as Barnaby reflected on the meeting with Ben Rustin and the enigmatic Shirley Jennings. The legal maneuvering and the carefully orchestrated appearances at the Parkhurst Hotel were designed to withstand only the most superficial scrutiny. Rustin, ever the shrewd attorney, had managed to balance the precarious interests of his client while attempting to suppress the truth. Yet the human element, that unpredictable force of conscience, had intervened. Rick Hatfield, caught in the web of his own talent for mimicry, had found himself entangled in a scenario where his very life was on the line, simply because he looked too much like a man who had become a target for his own former partner. As the dusk began to settle over the landscape, casting the world in a shroud of violet and gray, Barnaby knew that the final act was fast approaching. He walked to his vehicle, his movements measured and deliberate. The information Betty had gathered regarding the financial irregularities at the company had provided the missing piece of the mosaic. Ted Mason had sensed the corruption, and in his pursuit of the truth, he had signed his own death warrant. The audit that was meant to expose the rot within the firm had instead triggered a desperate attempt to silence him. The journey to the isolated location where Barrett and Reston were holding their captive was long and silent. Barnaby thought of the lives disrupted by greed, of the young man who had aspired to nothing more than to entertain, and the woman who had found herself torn between loyalty to a false idol and the burgeoning realization of the horror that surrounded her. The narrative was shifting from a light-hearted investigation into something far more sobering. The interplay between reality and artifice, between the hero on the screen and the predator in the shadows, reached its zenith as he arrived at the secluded cabin. Inside, the atmosphere was suffocating. Rick Hatfield, pale and shaken, sat amidst the wreckage of his own deception, while Cheryl watched the proceedings with a hollow, fearful gaze. The tension in the room was palpable, a tightly coiled spring waiting to release. Barnaby stood at the threshold, his presence commanding yet calm. He did not come with weapons or threats, but with the weight of absolute truth. He spoke, not with the fire of an accuser, but with the clarity of a man who had seen the cycle of human folly played out 1,000 times before. The confrontation that followed was not a spectacle of action, but a quiet dismantling of a false reality. He laid out the timeline, the contradictions of the hotel stays, the inexplicable presence of the glasses, and the motive behind the murder of Ted Mason. Each point was delivered with the precision of a master craftsman, leaving no room for further denial. The realization dawned upon those present that the mask had finally slipped, revealing the mundane, desperate reality beneath the facade of the movie star. As the sirens began to wail in the distance, cutting through the stillness of the valley, the weight of the day began to lift. The drama had played out, not as a tragedy of epic proportions, but as a cautionary tale about the cost of maintaining a lie. Barnaby observed the scene, his expression one of weary satisfaction. He had provided the resolution the family needed, and he had guided a lost soul back to the path of responsibility. The investigation was complete, and the pieces of the puzzle were finally arranged in their rightful place. In the aftermath, as he drove back toward the city, Barnaby felt the familiar pull of a life dedicated to the pursuit of justice. He thought about the values that defined his work, the belief that every life had intrinsic worth, and that the truth, no matter how deeply buried, would always find a way to surface. He remembered the simple, honest joy of the Andersons, the naive ambition of Rick Hatfield, and the cold, calculated greed of Ben Reston. Each had played a role in the unfolding story, and each had been touched by the reality that existed behind the camera lens. The night air was cool and crisp, a stark contrast to the stifling tension of the cabin. Barnaby allowed himself a moment to appreciate the silence, the simple pleasure of a job well done. He was a man who lived in the margins, witnessing the peaks and valleys of human experience without ever losing sight of his own moral compass. The case of the doomed alibi was now a closed chapter, a reminder of the fragility of truth in a world that so often preferred the comfort of a well-crafted illusion. He would return home, reflect on the lessons learned, and prepare for the next mystery that would inevitably knock on his door. The legacy of the situation would linger, a story told in the hushed tones of the community, but for Barnaby, it was simply another day in the life of a private investigator. He had helped restore a sense of balance, ensuring that the innocent could find closure and the guilty would face the consequences of their actions. It was not a grand, heroic gesture, but a persistent, steady application of diligence and integrity. In the end, that was all that truly mattered. As the city lights appeared on the horizon, glowing like distant stars, he felt a profound sense of peace. He had navigated the shadows, and he had emerged, as always, guided by the light of the truth. The following morning, the world seemed to wake with a renewed clarity. The news of the arrests would ripple through the media, a brief flicker of sensation that would soon be forgotten by the masses. But for those involved, the event was a watershed moment, a turning point that would define their futures. Barnaby sat at his desk, reviewing his notes one last time, ensuring that every detail was accounted for. The narrative was coherent, the motivations were understood, and the cycle of deception had been broken. He thought of the importance of community, of the families like the Andersons who found joy in the simple, and of the necessity of protecting that joy from those who would exploit it for their own gain. The role of the investigator was, at its heart, an act of service, a commitment to preserving the foundations of trust and security that allowed society to function. It was a noble pursuit, one that required patience, empathy, and an unwavering devotion to the facts. He closed the file, the sound of the metal cabinet latching shut echoing in the quiet office. As he looked out the window at the bustling street below, he considered the complexities of human nature, the way the line between the persona and the person could blur until they became indistinguishable. It was a theme that appeared in much of literature, the struggle for identity in a world that demanded conformity and performance. He had seen it in the way Barrett had built his career and in the way Hatfield had sought to replicate it. But ultimately, the truth was anchored in reality, in the tangible, verifiable evidence that remained when the show was over and the lights were turned off. The satisfaction of a mystery solved was not in the triumph over an adversary, but in the restoration of order and the protection of the innocent. It was the quiet, necessary work that underpinned the fabric of a civilized society. Barnaby understood this better than most. He had spent his life in the pursuit of these moments, finding meaning in the resolution of conflicts and the unveiling of hidden truths. It was a life of purpose, a life that contributed, in its own small way, to the betterment of the world. He stood up, stretched, and prepared for the day ahead. There were always new challenges, new stories to unfold, and new mysteries to solve. He walked out of his office, his footsteps steady on the pavement, a solitary figure moving through the world with purpose and poise. The wind caught his coat, and he adjusted his collar, a slight smile touching his lips. He was ready for whatever came next, confident in his ability to navigate the complexities of the human condition and to bring clarity to the chaos of life. The world was vast and full of stories, each one a thread in the grand tapestry of human existence. Barnaby Jones was but one weaver among many, yet he took pride in the threads he managed, ensuring that each was strong, straight, and true. He had learned long ago that the most enduring stories were not those of grand heroes or tragic villains, but those of ordinary people finding the courage to do what was right in the face of uncertainty. That was the essence of the human experience, and that was the essence of his own journey as well. He stopped at a nearby cafe, the aroma of fresh coffee inviting him in. The simple, everyday routine was a grounding force, a reminder of the life he fought to protect. He took a seat, ordered his coffee, and watched the people pass by. Each one had a story, a burden, and a dream. He felt a sense of camaraderie with them, a shared understanding of the challenges and rewards of existence. He was a part of this community, an observer and a participant, a man who saw the world as it was and loved it nonetheless. As he sipped his coffee, he thought about the future. There would be more cases, more questions, and more opportunities to make a difference. He looked forward to the challenges, knowing that he was prepared to meet them with the same dedication and integrity that had defined his life. He was a man who lived by his principles, a man whose word was his bond, and whose actions were always guided by a commitment to the truth. He felt a deep sense of contentment, a realization that he was exactly where he was meant to be. The morning light, now fully established, illuminated the world in a warm, inviting glow. It was a day full of promise, a day to continue the work he loved. Barnaby finished his coffee, paid his tab, and headed back out into the world. He moved with a sense of purpose, his mind already turning to the next challenge, the next mystery, and the next opportunity to serve. He was Barnaby Jones, and his story was far from over. The streets of the city were alive with activity, a symphony of movement and sound that spoke to the vibrancy of life. He navigated the crowd with ease, his presence a stabilizing force in the midst of the chaos. He felt a deep gratitude for the path he had chosen, for the opportunity to play his part in the grand narrative of existence. He was not a man for the limelight, not a man who sought fame or fortune, but a man who found fulfillment in the quiet, steady pursuit of what was right. His life was a testament to the power of integrity and the enduring value of the truth. He had seen many things, faced many dangers, and overcome many obstacles, but through it all, he had remained true to himself. That was his greatest achievement, the foundation upon which everything else was built. He looked ahead, toward the future, with a clear eye and a steady heart. The journey was long, the path was often uncertain, but he was prepared for whatever lay ahead. He turned the corner, his silhouette blending into the flow of the city. A man of mystery and substance, a man who had left an indelible mark on the lives of those he helped. The story of the doomed alibi was behind him, a small part of a larger history, a reminder of the fragility of the human endeavor and the importance of the work he did. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was ready for the next chapter. The sun continued to climb, the day unfolding with all the beauty and complexity that life had to offer. He found himself walking toward the park, the green spaces a welcome respite from the concrete of the city. He sat on a bench, watching the people play and interact, a quiet observer of the human drama. He thought about the resilience of the spirit, the ability to recover from setbacks, and the enduring power of hope. It was a theme that resonated deeply within him, a cornerstone of his own philosophy. He reflected on the many lives he had touched, the many people he had helped, and the many stories he had been a part of. Each one had left an impression, a lesson, and a memory. He was a man who lived 1,000 lives in one, a witness to the myriad ways in which people struggled, triumphed, and persevered. He was grateful for the perspective this had given him, the insight into the human condition that allowed him to see the world with both empathy and clarity. The park was alive with the sounds of children laughing, dogs barking, and the rustle of leaves in the breeze. It was a peaceful, idyllic scene, a sharp contrast to the struggles and conflicts he often dealt with in his professional life. He appreciated the contrast, the balance between the light and the dark, the joy and the sorrow. It was this balance that made life meaningful, that gave it texture and depth. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the sound of the world wash over him, a reminder of all that he was striving to protect. He knew that there would be more challenges, more darkness, and more complexities to navigate, but he also knew that he had the strength to meet them. He had the support of those he valued, the wisdom gained from experience, and the unwavering commitment to the truth. He was prepared, he was ready, and he was at peace. He opened his eyes, a calm determination on his face, and began the walk back to his office. The day was waiting, and he was ready to embrace it with all the enthusiasm and dedication of his life's work. As he reached his destination, the familiar sights and sounds of the office greeted him. It was a place of work, but also a place of solace, a place where he could gather his thoughts and focus his energy. He went to his desk, the familiar weight of the chair and the soft light of the lamp a comfort. He opened his journal, the pages filled with the accounts of his life and his work, a record of the journey he had taken. He picked up his pen, the simple tool of his trade, and began to write, adding the final thoughts to the story of the doomed alibi. The words flowed easily, a clear and concise account of the events, the resolutions, and the lessons learned. He was a professional, a storyteller of sorts, who understood the importance of clarity and the power of a well-told tale. He had written many reports, many narratives, and many reflections, but this one felt particularly significant, a reminder of the importance of the truth in a world that so often sought to obscure it. He finished the entry, closed the journal, and took a moment to reflect on the accomplishment. The day was far from over, and there was still work to be done. He turned his attention to the tasks at hand, the routine of the office filling his time and energy. He was a man who lived in the present, focusing his efforts on the immediate, while never losing sight of the larger picture. He was a man who understood that every action mattered, every choice had consequences, and every moment was an opportunity to make a positive impact. As the sun began to set, the city once again transformed, the lights coming to life and the shadows lengthening. He looked out the window, the world below a tapestry of light and movement. He felt a sense of anticipation for what the next day would bring, the new stories to be told, the new mysteries to be solved, and the new opportunities to make a difference. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was exactly where he was meant to be, a witness to the unfolding of life, and a participant in the pursuit of the truth. He picked up his coat, ready to depart for the evening. The day had been long, but it had been rewarding, a day of purpose and progress. He walked out the door, the cool night air refreshing and invigorating. He felt a lightness of spirit, a sense of satisfaction that came from a job well done. He was prepared for the evening, for the rest, and for the renewed energy of the morning. The journey continued, and he was ready for the next leg of the adventure. The city streets were busy, the energy of the night pulse beating beneath his feet. He walked with a steady, confident stride, a man who knew his path and followed it with unwavering determination. He felt connected to the city, to the people, and to the life that surrounded him. He was a part of this world, and he was proud of the work he did, the contribution he made, and the person he had become. He was Barnaby Jones, and his story was, as always, one of truth, integrity, and purpose. The journey home was a time for reflection, a time to process the events of the day and prepare for the future. He listened to the city, the sounds of traffic, the whispers of the wind, and the rhythm of life itself. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the life he lived, for the opportunities he had, and for the people who had crossed his path. He was a man who was grateful for the simple, everyday joys, the moments of connection, and the opportunities to serve. He was at peace, ready for the night, and anticipating the promise of a new dawn. As he arrived at his home, he felt a sense of comfort, a sanctuary of rest and reflection. He walked through the door, the familiar space a welcome refuge from the demands of the world. He was a man who valued his privacy, his quiet time, and his moments of solitude. He appreciated the opportunity to disconnect, to reset, and to prepare for the challenges of the coming day. He was a man who lived with intention, who chose his moments of work and his moments of rest with care, and who understood the importance of balance in all things. He spent the evening in the comfort of his home, surrounded by the things he loved, the books he had read, the music he enjoyed, and the memories he cherished. He felt a sense of contentment, a realization that he had achieved much, yet still had so much to look forward to. He was a man who was at home in his own skin, comfortable with his past, and hopeful for his future. He was ready for the night, for the rest, and for the promise of a new day. The morning arrived with a soft, gentle light, a new beginning, a new opportunity, and a new promise. Barnaby woke with a sense of renewed energy, ready to take on the challenges and the opportunities of the day. He was a man who lived in the present, focusing on the here and now, and finding joy and meaning in the simple, everyday experiences. He was Barnaby Jones, and his story continued, a story of integrity, truth, and purpose. The world was vast, the possibilities were endless, and he was ready for the journey that lay ahead. He had learned the lessons of the past, he had understood the challenges of the present, and he was prepared for the future. He was a man who was true to himself, a man who lived with intention, and a man who was committed to the pursuit of the truth. He looked forward to the day, confident in his ability to navigate the challenges, to embrace the opportunities, and to make a positive impact. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was ready. As he walked out into the world, he felt a sense of purpose, a sense of destiny, and a sense of belonging. He was part of something larger than himself, a story that was still being written, a life that was still being lived. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was at peace with the journey, the path, and the destination. The world was waiting, and he was ready to face it with all the courage, integrity, and dedication that defined his life's work. The story continued, and he was the author of his own narrative, a story of truth, integrity, and purpose. He began the day with a sense of anticipation, looking forward to the opportunities for service, for discovery, and for growth. He was a man who lived with a commitment to the truth, a commitment to his principles, and a commitment to the people he served. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was prepared for whatever lay ahead with the confidence and the determination that had characterized his life and his work. The journey was long, the path was complex, but he was steady, focused, and ready. The day was full of activity, each moment an opportunity to make a difference. He navigated the complexities of his work with ease, using his skills, his experience, and his intuition to address the challenges he faced. He was a man who was respected for his integrity, his intelligence, and his commitment to the truth. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was a beacon of light in a world that could sometimes be dark and uncertain. He felt a sense of pride in the work he did, the lives he touched, and the difference he made. As the day drew to a close, he felt a sense of accomplishment, a sense of peace, and a sense of gratitude. He had done his best, he had remained true to his principles, and he had contributed, in his own way, to the betterment of the world. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was at peace with the life he lived, the work he did, and the person he had become. The journey continued, and he was ready for whatever the future held, with the same courage, integrity, and dedication that had defined his life and his work. The night air was cool and crisp, a fitting end to a day of effort and accomplishment. He walked home, the city lights a testament to the life and energy that surrounded him. He felt a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose, and a sense of fulfillment. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was proud of the journey he had taken, the lessons he had learned, and the person he had become. He was ready for the rest, for the reflection, and for the promise of a new day. He walked into his home, the quiet space a welcome relief from the demands of the day. He felt a sense of peace, a sense of tranquility, and a sense of contentment. He was a man who valued his home, his time, and his moments of solitude. He appreciated the opportunity to disconnect, to reflect, and to prepare for the challenges of the coming day. He was a man who lived with intention, who chose his moments of work and his moments of rest with care, and who understood the importance of balance in all things. He spent the evening in the comfort of his home, surrounded by the things he loved, the books he had read, the music he enjoyed, and the memories he cherished. He felt a sense of peace, a realization that he had achieved much, yet still had so much to look forward to. He was a man who was at home in his own skin, comfortable with his past, and hopeful for his future. He was ready for the night, for the rest, and for the promise of a new day. The morning light, once again, heralded the beginning of a new chapter, a new opportunity, and a new promise. Barnaby woke with a sense of renewed energy, ready to take on the challenges and the opportunities of the day. He was a man who lived in the present, focusing on the here and now, and finding joy and meaning in the simple, everyday experiences. He was Barnaby Jones, and his story continued, a story of integrity, truth, and purpose. The journey, he knew, was not just about the destinations he reached, but about the moments along the way. The conversations that shifted his perspective, the quiet observations that informed his understanding, and the small victories that bolstered his resolve. He saw the world not merely as a series of problems to be solved, but as an intricate web of human stories, each worthy of respect and attention. This, perhaps, was the most significant lesson of his career, that to be an effective investigator, one must also be a student of human nature. He thought of the people he had met, the lives he had influenced, and the ways in which his own life had been shaped by these encounters. He was a man of the world, yet he maintained a sense of detachment that allowed him to remain objective, a balance that was essential to his work. He was grateful for the experiences, the challenges, and the opportunities, and he looked forward to the future with the same curiosity and determination that had driven him from the very beginning. He moved through the day with the efficiency of a seasoned professional, his mind always active, his focus always clear. He was a man who commanded respect, not through authority, but through his demeanor, his integrity, and his unwavering commitment to the truth. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was a man of his word, a man who lived by his principles, and a man who understood the importance of service. As the evening approached, he found himself back at his desk, the quiet reflection of the late afternoon a time for him to gather his thoughts. He looked out at the city. the lights beginning to twinkle like stars against the darkening sky. He felt a sense of deep satisfaction, a realization that he had spent his day well, and that he had contributed to the world in a meaningful way. He was a man of purpose, a man of integrity, and a man who lived a life that was both rich and rewarding. He closed the journal, the weight of the day lifting from his shoulders. He was ready for the evening, for the rest, and for the promise of a new day. He walked out of his office, the quiet of the halls a reminder of the many stories that had been shared within these walls, the many lives that had been touched, and the many mysteries that had been unveiled. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was at peace with the journey, the path, and the future. The city streets were calm, the rush of the day replaced by the gentle hum of the evening. He walked home, the air cool and invigorating, the feeling of the night air a reminder of the world he lived in and the life he led. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was a man who valued his life, his work, and the people he had helped. He felt a sense of gratitude, a sense of fulfillment, and a sense of peace. He entered his home, the quiet space a refuge of comfort and reflection. He spent the evening in the peace of his own surroundings, the books he had read, the music he had enjoyed, and the memories he had built. He felt a sense of contentment, a realization that he was exactly where he was meant to be, doing exactly what he was meant to do. He was ready for the rest, the reflection, and the promise of a new day. The cycle continued, a rhythm of work and rest, of reflection and action, a tapestry of experiences that defined his life and his work. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was a witness to the beauty and the complexity of the world, a participant in the pursuit of the truth, and a man who found meaning and purpose in the journey of life itself. The story continued, and he was the author, the participant, and the observer, a man whose life was a testament to the enduring power of truth, integrity, and purpose. He looked toward the horizon, the dawn of a new day beginning to break, a promise of light in the darkness, a promise of hope in the uncertainty. He was Barnaby Jones, and he was ready for whatever the day held, with the courage, the integrity, and the dedication that had characterized his life and his work. The journey was long, the path was complex, but he was steady, focused, and ready. The story continued, and he was Barnaby Jones.